the news hit like a thunderclap. 41 Chinese vessels swarming the West Philippine Sea, looming near Palawan. Digital maps lit up with red icons, each one a foreign ship deep inside Philippine waters. For Filipinos, January 24, 2026, began with anxiety, not coffee. This wasn't a stray fishing boat or routine patrol. It was a statement. Imagine standing on Palawan's shore, the horizon crowded with steel silhouettes, anchored, unmoving, a heavy weight on our nation's chest. The Philippine Coast Guard confirmed it. Prompt patrol planes captured viral images of a vast, organized flotilla asserting dominance in our backyard. This isn't a movie, it's our reality. These are our waters, our fishermen's lifeblood, our children's heritage, now occupied by an overwhelming foreign force. The government is on high alert. Over 100 million Filipinos are watching, breath held, as the drama unfolds. The vessels are a coordinated mix, massive Coast Guard cutters, disguised militia boats and, just over the horizon, gray-hulled warships of the People's Liberation Army Navy. It's a full-spectrum show of force, carefully choreographed to intimidate and overwhelm. The message is clear. This is a challenge to our sovereignty. The question now, what happens next? This isn't just another day in the West Philippine Sea. The sighting of 41 Chinese vessels in one area marks a dangerous escalation. In the past, a dozen militia boats might appear. Now, it's a fleet, strategically positioned near key Philippine features. This is no misunderstanding. It's a calculated move to establish de facto control. By anchoring here, China is contesting our rights, blocking us from our own resources, and governing our maritime domain. It's coercion, plain and simple. The dynamic has shifted from diplomatic disputes to a physical power play. Each day the fleet remains, China normalizes the unacceptable, strengthening its illegitimate claim. This is now a national security crisis, not just a diplomatic problem. With every ship, the risk of confrontation grows, pushing the region closer to a flashpoint. To grasp the threat, we must dissect the Chinese fleet, a three-layered force built for coercion. First, the maritime militia. Disguised as fishing boats, they swarm, block and intimidate, all under state control. Second, the China Coast Guard. These are not ordinary patrol ships, they're former Navy frigates armed and massive, enforcing China's will with water cannons and dangerous maneuvers. Third, the People's Liberation Army Navy. Gray-hulled warships lurk just out of sight, the ultimate threat backing up the others. This system works in harmony. Militia create problems, the Coast Guard escalates, and the Navy deters any military response. If we confront the militia, China claims we're harassing fishermen. If we challenge the Coast Guard, we risk escalation. The Navy's presence makes military action unthinkable. It's a masterful strategy, each layer presenting a different challenge, always keeping the Philippines on the defensive. China advances its claims incrementally, always below the threshold of open conflict. The result? A dragon with three heads, each one difficult to fight. The Philippines faces a complex, multi-layered threat at sea. Every move is calculated to keep us off balance. The world sees a coordinated campaign, not random incidents. This is how China asserts control, without firing a shot. The challenge is immense, but understanding the strategy is the first step to countering it. The question remains, how do we respond? What we're witnessing is gray zone warfare, conflict that blurs the line between peace and war. China uses non-military and quasi-military vessels to seize territory and resources, avoiding open conflict. It's a slow, creeping invasion, a death by 1,000 cuts. Imagine your neighbor filling your driveway with trucks, then posting guards to intimidate you. That's what China's doing in our EEZ. The militia boats occupy space. The Coast Guard enforces the new reality. They're not soldiers, so any response risks making us look like the aggressor. The burden of escalation falls on the Philippines Act, and China claims provocation, do nothing, and their presence becomes permanent. It's a strategic trap. Pressure increases so gradually there's never a clear moment for a decisive response. China's goal, change the status quo without triggering a global outcry. The Philippines is caught between risking escalation and watching its rights erode. This is the brilliance and danger of gray zone tactics. The world must recognize this silent invasion before it's too late. Amid the chaos, one fact stands firm: the law is on our side. The Philippines' claim is anchored in the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, which China signed. UNCLOS grants us a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, and the Chinese fleet is deep within it. In 2013, the Philippines took China to court, challenging its sweeping 9-line claim. The 2016 arbitral ruling was a landmark victory. China's claim was declared baseless, and our rights were affirmed. The ruling is final and binding, not just an opinion. It condemned China's interference and environmental destruction, yet China rejects the ruling, acting as if it never happened. This is the heart of the conflict. Rules-based order versus might makes right. The Philippines fights not just for territory, but for the principle that all nations must follow the same rules. The presence of those 41 ships is a direct defiance of international law. Our legal victory is our shield, but only if the world stands with us. The battle is for more than reefs, it's for the rule of law itself. Beyond geopolitics, there's a human story. For Filipino fishermen, the West Philippine Sea is their lifeblood, now turned into a daily struggle. Intimidation, harassment, and fear have replaced freedom and bounty. Fishermen are chased from traditional grounds, blasted by water cannons, their boats rammed or lines cut. Many are forced closer to shore, earning less and falling into debt. The impact ripples through entire communities, less fish to sell, fewer boats to repair, families struggling to survive. Despair is creeping into once vibrant villages. The sea, once a source of hope, is now a frontier of anxiety and poverty. Every fisherman blocked from his waters is a symbol of our sovereignty under threat. Their stories remind us, this conflict is about lives, dreams, and the future of our people. The Philippines isn't standing idle. Manila's strategy, fight back with light. Every Chinese incursion is documented and shared with the world. This assertive transparency exposes China's aggression, unites Filipinos, and internationalizes the conflict. At the same time, the Philippines is strengthening alliances, especially with the United States under the Mutual Defense Treaty. Joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and clear commitments from allies act as deterrents. Japan, Australia, and European partners are stepping up support, from patrol vessels to joint patrols. The world is watching, and the Philippines is not alone. Coalition building sends a powerful message: aggression will not go unchecked. Transparency and alliances are our shield against gray zone tactics. The West Philippine Sea isn't just a regional issue, it's global. 1/3 of world trade passes through these waters. Any conflict here could disrupt global supply chains and economies. If freedom of navigation is threatened, the shockwaves will be felt worldwide. This dispute tests whether international law or raw power will shape the future. If China's actions go unchallenged, it sets a dangerous precedent for the world. That's why nations far beyond Asia are involved, defending the principle that the seas are free for all. The fate of these waters is tied to global peace and stability. What happens here matters everywhere. The West Philippine Sea faces 3 possible futures. First, normalization. China's presence becomes permanent, the world grows weary, and the Philippines is squeezed out. Second, internationalization. Transparency and alliances build a coalition that pushes back, forcing China to moderate its actions. Third, rare cooperation. China chooses dialogue and respect for the law, leading to joint development and peace. The choice is being made now, by Filipino sailors, diplomats, and allied leaders. The presence of 41 Chinese vessels is a test of our resolve and the world's commitment to law over force. Vigilance, courage, and unity are our only way forward. The future of our seas and global peace depends on the choices we make today. The world is watching. The stakes could not be higher. The time to act is now. Our sovereignty and the rule of law hang in the balance.